That's the part of having multiple personalities. I can't lie because I can't remember what I said if I lie.
Right.
I have to tell the truth so I remember.
Right. So you're not saying you tell the truth because it's like you're altruistic. You just do it because
I can't
you're too
remember
crazy.
what the lie is.
Right. So it's the only way you can stay on track with all your different
It's the only way I
characters.
can live is to tell the truth because I don't have to remember because I have a faulty memory.
It's like your superhero origin story of why you have to tell the truth all the time. That's pretty cool. That's what you do.
That's my multiple personality disorder. It's all just about writing a fucking joke.
That's what I want to talk about. Your
That's
multiple
where I got
personality
it all
disorder.
the streams into one.
Right.
My friend Alan said it.
Let me help untangle
Alan, we
this.
need to bring Alan. When are you going to bring Alan? Because he saw me through my whole multiple personality breakdown. He said, honey, just get all your parts on the same bus. And that really changed and helped me a lot.
Yeah, can you do that for this podcast right now? Because you're
No.
all over the place.
No,
Here, listen.
because I have a lot to say and a lot of different voices and views.
This is something we've never...
I'm not just a singleton like these dumb fucks. I'm not just a singleton.
Right. You do have... And you have dealt with multiple personality disorder. It's a real thing, although it's called something different now.
I call it multiple personality order.
Order. Okay. So this is a real thing you've been diagnosed with, dealt with for years. You've been in therapy.
And was integrated from and cured of.
Right. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because this podcast, you and I were talking about this last week off air, that this is the first ever multiple personality hosted podcast. And even if you say you're integrated, you still kind of jump around a little bit. You kind of switch a little bit. You can live with it, but I notice it. So before you say anything, just listen.
Well, all that is true. I do switch around.
So let's explain.
I got a lot of things inside, a lot of parts.
Let's explain
However, the difference is now I don't go out and buy 16 different dinette sets as I used to.
You are surviving better. You are living better.
I only do one thing.
Right.
And I try to only act one way, like with my money.
Right.
I try to keep track of myself. Like I don't go home and have 15 closets like I did when I was rich.
That. Yeah.
Some boy clothes, some women clothes, some glamorous costumes.
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore. I just buy on Amazon.
Yeah, I know. And that's a whole other problem that we have to get through.
But the Japanese understand it. They've got the best videos on women who hate their husbands, and as soon as their husbands leave, they go shop on Amazon and buy gadgets.
So for people that watch this podcast, they think, because I've seen the comments and I talk to people, you are almost different every week. Sometimes you're like you're Oprah interviewing. Sometimes you're wild. Sometimes you're drunk. Sometimes you're high. And I think it's really fascinating because a lot of times people go from the week to week like, this is different. I like this one more. And I just think, that's all I'm trying to say. This is the first ever podcast hosted by someone who's clinically been diagnosed with multiple personality disorder. And I happen to find that fascinating because you never know what you're going to get week to week on the Roseanne Barr podcast. You might get talk show host Roseanne, who's completely clear and knows the right questions. And then the next week you're talking about JAG executions.
Media savvy Roseanne.
That's a personality.
They all have
tell people.
They all have they all got a different point of view is basically it. Because I'm always trying on different outfits for how to reach people.
Yeah.
Because I try to reach a lot of people. I try to reach different groups of people at different times to create a big tent of people who actually question power.
So you're talking in code?
That's when I'm really, really integrated. Yes, I do talk in code. All of my tweets, including the one I was fired for,
this is fascinating,
were encoded.
Can you talk about this? Because you always think everyone knows what's going on in your head. No one has any fucking idea. I don't. This is the stuff you should talk about. This is interesting. You don't think it's interesting, but
I always wonder if anyone gets it.
Well, I'm trying to help them get it.
Every so often, I will meet someone who does get it, like Michael Malice.
They're also crazy. That's how you...
But he gets it because he's an anarchist.